Subaru. Right, retake. Yeah, lads. Right then, I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, but I always feel like the car's not been ready to do it. I always said when it's wrapped and when it's at the power I want, I'm going to do a brutally honest review on my own car. Now if you are new to the channel, I do things called brutally honest reviews where I get people's cars and I try and find things which I don't really like about them and then try and, you know, see what they're good, but try and be a little bit brutal in my approach. Now I'm going to do this myself though. I'm going to put myself in the firing line and I'm going to see what things piss me off about my own car. Now, this is good because I've had this car for around about 8 or 9 months now. When I do the review, it's quite hard to pick up things in like an hour or 2 hours, but I've got a list of things which piss me off about this car. We're going to start about things which piss me off, spitting all over the place, lads. And I'm going to go on to things of why I bought one and why I've always wanted one and why these are my dream car. So stay till the end for the good shit. We're going to start off with the shit that pisses me off.
Your jacket's a bit green.
It's going to fuck up the editing, isn't it, in Photoshop, lad?
That's what I mean.
We're going to swap jackets.
Lad.
This is a bit intense because I've not got anything on underneath it.
Oh Jesus.
So.
Oh Jesus, we're out here in forest, who knows what could happen?
Right, retake. Right, I've got so many different points and it's going to be hard to try and keep it flowing. So I'm going to go through the process as if you were getting in the car and then looking at the car, starting the car, things like that. Right, so come on, we're going to get in the car. First of all, ignore the trim. First point, trim, piece of plastic.
What trim?
This, well, it's gone. Look at the other side. That's what it should be like. Quick little story. The clips are not very good because Japanese life. It flew off on the motorway. I ordered a new one. £200 for Mitsubishi for that one piece of fucking plastic. I ordered a new one, same day did the exact same thing, flew off again. So yeah, so that's why it's like this, because nobody has one of these, so it's just going to stay like that. Now, for some reason, my central locking key does not work on my driver's side, so I have to put the key in, unlock it, which looks like an absolute peasant, but you got to do what you got to do. Right, come on Jesse, follow me in. Oh, be careful, lad. First thing that's very, very, very annoying about the Evo, they come with immobilizers. Some people have fobs, which is, I bet, is an absolute lovely life. Mine has this silly little push thing. Now you think, you know, it's not that bad. You just grab that, you just push it in, and it's immobilized. In the dark, when you've got 5% limo tint, all you're doing at night is just fucking doing that for about 5 minutes, trying to find out. And you're like, fucking, where's the immobilizer? Right. So before we get on, it's got 1000cc injectors and it is running Evo 8 turbo. We're running around about 1.7, 1.8 bar. What it's pushing out, I've not dynoed it, but it should be close to 400 horse. Now that's the main point with what I just said, because the injectors are very, very big, so it hates idling when you start it up. When you start up the car, let's see if it'll do it. It hasn't running, so I don't know if it will. If I start up the car with no revs, obviously clutching because 2004 Evo one. Okay, it's okay, but usually if you're doing a cold start, it struggles on idle because the injectors are so big. So I've literally, if I'm starting the car, I have to start the car and keep it revving, and you look like an absolute, see it struggling to idle because the injectors, you look like an absolute dickhead to be fair. The interiors of the Evo are disgusting. I'm not going to say they're absolutely disgusting. We've kind of, well, I say we, me and Jesse did this, kind of done something nice in the interior, to be fair, but if you get unless you've got a 9MR, the interiors really aren't nice. The seats are this horrible blue colour, the door cards are this horrible blue colour, all these interior trim plastics are usually a horrible blue colour. We've wrapped them in the car, which is aubergine bronze. It does tie the interior up a lot nicely, but in general the interiors really aren't nice. The standard gear knobs are absolutely disgusting. The standard wheel is usually like grey. I put the MR wheel on this one, so it is a lot nicer. Oh, the interior is definitely something which is a letdown for the Evo in my eyes. Because I'm running around 400 horse, the standard clutch shits itself. It's okay if you drive it normally, but when you buy an Evo, of course you want to do a launch, and I know no joke, I did 2 launches and my clutch was gone. I went and bought an XZ twin plate. It is stiff. The clutch is very, 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 very stiff. I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to talk about more of the driving points later on in the video when I'm driving. There is a lot to talk about the gearbox and things like that. But for now, I'm just going to stick to the things which are just on the exterior of the car or little quirky bits. The rear view mirror, the spoiler, is in a perfect place where it will completely hide what car is behind you. So, you know, when you want to look out, for example, the police, the spoiler will perfectly sit in the place where the lights would sit, so you can't tell whatever spot, you can't tell what car's behind you. Right, for the next points, we're gonna go under the bonnet, okay? It's a bit dirty, don't judge. The one thing which I hated about this car, and it was literally the one time I genuinely did not enjoy owning one. I bought this car totally standard, and the first time I come to take the bumper off, the only word for it is a fucking joke. It was a fucking joke. I counted how many bolts held the bumper on. There was 4 on that side. 4 bolts on this side. There was 4 bolts, no, there was 2 bolts holding on the bracket for the number plate, and then there was 2 bolts under that holding on the bumper. There was 2 more bolts in the center behind these little meshes. There was 4 bolts on top, and there was 16 clips underneath the car. All that to hold the bumper off. When you take the battery off on this car, it completely sends the car into the stupid mode, right? And it totally forgets all of the fuel trims. Now people might think, that's not that bad of an idea, you know, it's not that bad. When I first took my battery off the car, my car would not idle properly for a day, because I didn't really know what was going on. And when I say not idle properly, it would completely cut out. Like, you come to a junction and the car would just cut out. Now the only way to counteract this in the Evos is you have to leave them running for about half an hour by themselves, and in them half an hour you have to do 15 minutes normal, and then you have to turn all the electrics on for 15 minutes. If you didn't know that, I genuinely thought I genuinely thought I fried my ECU, and that was never a fun time. The Evos absolutely hate blow-off valves, or as the Americans will say, vent to atmosphere. They hate them. It totally messes up the vacuum, and the car just overfuels on. If you come off the throttle, the car will just overfuel like mad, and sometimes it stalls out. Because most people still run them anyway, but you have to be very careful about when you're coming off the clutch and let it idle, because if you're at high revs and you dump the clutch, it will come down and it will struggle, and it will and then it will catch it. So that's pretty much quite annoying as well. Heeling and towing, heel and tow, right? Many cars, they have the brake and the accelerator pretty level, or sometimes in the case they've got the accelerator high. That makes it really like easy to heel and tow. The Evos, the accelerator sits quite far down in the brake, so heeling and towing is like really not comfortable to do in this car. You've really got, so you kind of want your accelerator touching your foot so you can heel and tow. Heeling and towing in the Evo is really uncomfortable. You've got to properly foot bang the way down, and I would have thought from such a, you know, car enthusiast approach to the car and the rally driven car, I thought that would be something that would be very easy to do in this, but heeling and towing is really difficult in the Evo. A lot of the weight is over the front end. It's not really distributed that well, which is why you see a lot of the people putting the batteries in the boot. That's probably the easiest and quickest way to try and distribute that weight correctly, but they do feel quite front heavy. And you get in like all the 4-wheel drive cars like GTRs, they are a little bit more fun to drive because they do send more power to the rear, where the Evos are kind of much a 50-50 split, to be fair. It's very rare that the back end kicks out on these, which, you know, is good for track driving and stuff, but when you want to have a little bit of fun, you're always kind of just resorting to the handbrake. So, you know, one of them. Very quickly, I know some people aren't really that bothered about this, but I'm going to go, I know that some people will be asking in the comments, so for those people who do want to know what's happened, what I've done to the car, we'll quickly run through it. As I said, we've just got a standard manifold with the Evo 8 turbo running on 1.7 bar. We've got an RC Motorsport top hose. We've got HGS intake all the way down. We've got a teal blow-off valve, which sounds awesome. Engine is totally standard, pretty much. We've got the 1000cc injectors at the back there, which are a little bit more than what I need to run, but it's just safe. We've got the R-AAA R tyres all the way around, which was the biggest difference I've ever made to the car. Those tyres are fucking insane. We have got a screamer pipe coming off the turbo. We've got a 3-inch all the way back. We've got an XZ twin plate clutch, which is awesome, which is very difficult to drive, but it's awesome. We've actually got coilovers, and people are going to hate me for this, but I've actually got the max speeding rod ones, which are technically cheap coilovers. I bought them, they was on eBay as a bit of as an auction, and I got them so cheap, and for me it was a good experiment. Because obviously I'm not the sort of guy that listens to people online. I'd rather make my own opinions about things. So I bought these. Yes, I had to rebuild the fronts a day after I bought them because they weren't greased properly. But after I did that, I have no issues with them. I took them on track multiple times and the car feels great, so don't change something that's not broken. I am in the process of doing a wide arch. I'm just thinking about what to do to the front, but we have got some 20mm wider arches on the front, which are fiberglass, which are an absolute bitch to fit, weren't they, Jesse?
It was fun, wasn't it?
Horrible. And then obviously we just got some other taste little mods, but that's pretty much the main bulk of the car. The car is wrapped by DB Wraps in Sheffield, and it's called Aubergine Bronze, so it's a flip between magenta and bronze. I was going to get it gloss initially, but I thought it would suit the car of being a bit more aggressive being matte, so it's matte Aubergine Bronze. So the car is mapped by Simon Norton in Sheffield. Amazing map. The map's really aggressive. It comes on boost and really hard. But again, I'll talk about this when we're driving. So let's take her for a spin. Now the clutch, I've had the clutch in for about 2 or 3 months now, and it's a lot better now. The plates have bedded in a little bit. At first it was a nightmare to drive, but now it's okay now. It's getting a lot better. Now the one thing when you're driving, the first thing you notice when you're getting in it is the turning circles are horrific. Like if you're sat here now, you get one turn of the wheel and that's it, just one turn. 3-point turns are horrific in the Evos. Turning around is horrific in the Evos. Parking horrific in the Evos. The most notable thing is the gearbox. The gearbox is unlike any other car. The main thing is that the ratios are so short. That's good and bad. For fast track driving, it's amazing because you've got so much control over the gearing and the revs. But when you're just day-to-day driving, it's very, very annoying. I think I've seen a video on YouTube once where an Evo was racing a Camaro, and the Camaro stayed in 1 gear, and the Evo went through 3 gears. So that's just an example of how short the ratios are in these gearbox. First and second is just bang, 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 bang. And leading on for the gearbox, I had a Subaru before this, I had a Scooby, and people always asked me, how does it compare to the Subaru? How does it drive? But they're just totally different cars. Fair enough, the Subaru might be a lot more raw, and it feels a lot more like raggedy, and that it will put you into a ditch and stuff, where the Evos feel a lot safer. But for track driving, just how the car drives, the Evos are I just think they're uncomparable, to be fair. How does the Evo feel towards the Subaru? The only way I can explain it in a way where you can get a perception of what it feels like and what it means is the Evos feel like they've got a flywheel made out of paper, and the Subarus feel like they've got a flywheel made out of lead. The way the Subarus pick up is just so much like laggier and slower and heavier, and the way the Evos pick up is just boom. Mighty Car Mods bought an Evo recently, and I've always said the Evos are just so snappy, like the neck breaker cars. And that's exactly what Mighty Car Mods said when they picked up their Evo. They said that there's nothing like the Evos. They're just so snappy and responsive, and just like, that's what I mean. When you get in them, they're just so stiff. I've got standard mounts all the way around, standard gearbox mounts, standard engine mounts, and the car's just so stiff and snappy. There's literally no sort of forces acting against you. There's not much inertia acting against you when you put your foot down. Where I feel like in other cars you can feel the softness of it. Now I don't daily it. I daily the Clio Sport. When I get back in this, you really appreciate how good of a car it is. Like through the gears and stuff, it's just so nimble and fast. Servicing. The big thing before I bought an Evo is, oh, everyone, you've got to change the oil every 100 miles. You have to change the oil every 3,000 miles. Yeah, it's not much, but if you're into your cars anyway, you're going to be changing your cars that regularly anyway. I change this every 3,500 miles, and you need to change the spark plugs around 4 times a year. So someone who isn't really into the cars that much, that is a lot. But you know, it's always good practice, and spark plugs are cheap anyway. But yeah. So the screamer pipe was a great mod. One of the most fun mods that I've done. Obviously you have to get used, it's loud. The camera never picks up how loud the screamer pipe actually is. 400 in an Evo is not much, that's the thing. These engines can probably take around 450 without being forged. Around about 400 horsepower, the heads do lift. So the ARP head bolts are needed after 400 horsepower. I know a lot of Evos which don't do that, and they're pushing 430 horse and the heads lift, and then it's an engine rebuild. Everyone knows what an Evo is, and they're so iconic, and when you're driving around, everyone just appreciates them, and it's just such a good feeling owning one. I absolutely love this car. I've driven things a lot faster, but when you get in this, just the responsiveness and how sharp and quick they are, they genuinely feel like a lot quicker than what they actually are. A lot of people get in this car and then they're a bit shocked when I say it's just under 400. It just goes to how quick they feel, how short the gearing is. It's very deceptive. The car makes it feel like a lot faster than it actually is. The community is absolutely amazing with the Evos. I've never witnessed anything like it. It was very close to the community with the Megane. I feel like the Renault community are really strong as well, but the Evo guys are absolutely great, and the Evolution page is full of nice, lovely and very clever people. So I love owning this car, and it's not going to be going anytime soon. Yeah, so this is Eva, my Evo 8. She's an absolute beast. I love her so much, and she's going to be here for a while.